two Los Angeles filmmakers made a revealing documentary about a Mexican family's migration to Santa Monica in the early 1900s. Cronkite News reporter Kimberly Silverio-Bautista spoke with them about the historical issues and how it affects today's community.
The largest Mexican migrant family, the Casillas, settled in the Pico neighborhood in 1918. They were limited to certain neighborhoods in LA along with the African American and Asian community. Their experience reflects housing problems faced by many people of color in the Southwest who lived in segregated areas because of racially restrictive covenants.
Because this was a multicultural neighborhood, it was the place where all the people of color lived. All the service workers, the janitors, the gardeners, the cooks, the maids lived in this neighborhood. So it was, in many ways, it was defined by racism.
Co-filmmaker Dan Kwong says, "We Were All Here" tells a story of the Casillas family and La Veinte, which is what locals call 20th Street, and the Pico neighborhood in Santa Monica. Kwong said the family were delighted someone is interested in their story, although it was a challenge to interview them due to COVID-19 restrictions.
So the early interviews had to be done by Zoom, which is very limiting, and one person I only interviewed, only by phone. So that was, it made progress very difficult on the film because I couldn't say, "Can I come over and look at all your old photographs?" Right?
Beyond housing segregation, the construction of the Santa Monica 10 highway affected the neighborhoods. Residents were displaced across the LA communities of color. Co-filmmaker Paulina Sahagan said this neighborhood was thriving even before the highway was built. Sahagan would like city planners to be more cautious of structures they plan to build before destroying a neighborhood.
Really look at this. Urban planners, really look at this. See what you have already. It's kind of like ripping out native plants and putting plants that don't grow in that medium. So what will happen? You'll have a disaster.
In Santa Monica, Kimberly Silverio-Bautista, Cronkite News.
The filmmakers hope to develop the film for educational purposes in the future. Their film premiered in Santa Monica on Saturday, June 26.